Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. If you like what you're hearing, hit the subscribe button, give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net. This is the post-NHL trade deadline review and hockey betting preview for Tuesday, February 25th, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
All right, here we go. We're back on the beam, post-NHL trade deadline. Glad you're with us here. The Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Cam Stewart, north of the border. Hey, going in, before we get to the trade deadline, I think we ruined some people's days, Cammy. You know when you're like Gilligan's Island comes on or something, and all of a sudden you hear the song and it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
On Twitter, a couple of people were the parlay songs kind of we've ruined people. It's stuck in their head.
They don't like it. Yeah. No, there's one guy too. He's like, tell Brian to do this. I'm like, dude, the guy hit like nine two-game totals
on social media.
Unbelievable. Hey, bud, here's a tip. The best cappers in the world go like 60%. So if you don't like it, then you know what? Go find another. Make your own damn picks. Then I'm not going to take that crap from people.
I know that one. By the way, when you're talking hockey and some guy cross-checks you into the boards, you want a teammate to have your back. Cam had my back on Twitter.
I did.
But first of all, he went 0-4 on his totals, and I'm like,
no, you didn't.
I'm going, well, first of all, I don't care. Listen, our heart's in the right place. We want people to win.
Exactly.
But first of all, that didn't happen. And oh, by the way, either you can't read or you weren't listening, because over the weekend, did we not absolutely
every single total you had
the totals, the Edmonton and Calgary game,
the Vegas games, everything.
The Calgary game, we played over 6. It was 3-2
in the first period. Exactly.
It was 3-2 in the first 5 minutes, and then the other game was the Edmonton game.
Yes.
Was that Minnesota, I believe?
Yes, it was. Yeah, because I remember you told me you go parlay the overs with that. With those Alberta teams.
We said, I'm not even playing one. I'm doing it as a parlay.
Exactly.
That game was over the total before the halfway point of the game.
Exactly. And it's funny. Out of the gate, we have a rematch of that game that went over in the first 5 minutes, Calgary and Boston. It's in Boston, not Calgary. It's crazy.
And we had Vegas. You mentioned we had Vegas over the total. Mm-hmm. It said Subban on Sunday. They're playing Anaheim. What was the final? 6-5?
Yeah. 6-5, buddy. 11 goals.
I don't know where the 0-4 thing come from, but that's fine.
Okay, yeah. People can believe what they want to believe. Everyone, that's the thing, man. You can't please everybody. I've learned in this business, that's the thing. You try to give winners, like we're not getting. It's good for us when we hit winners, right? That's what we're trying to do. Anyway,
speaking of winners, who the big winner? It's funny.
I like what Carolina did.
All right. Well, I was going to say to you, who's the big winner? And you know what? And it's such a tough thing to say on trade deadline day. I think trade deadline morning, I think Edmonton was the big winner, getting Anthony Ciu. My God, that's the Bonneville Salt Flats on ice. Him and McDavid. But don't sleep on Tyler Ennis. As crazy as that sounds, Tyler Ennis having a great season with Ottawa, and you're putting this guy on the third line, and you bring Anthony Ciu in. Now, I don't know if you split up McDavid and Draisaitl, but if they can get some secondary scoring, goaltending is going to be their issue. But I thought Edmonton, because how many times can you go to the well with McDavid and Draisaitl? The Yamamoto kid kind of picked up the mail a little bit. But I think Edmonton, Holland did a great job.
He did do a great job, and this team is really turning it around quick. I like Carolina. Also just for getting some defensive depth. I told you that game against Toronto where the 42-year-old Zamboni driver came in, like you saw how that galvanized that team. He's getting honored by the organization. I just think they're a very, very dangerous team, but you're right. I love what the Oilers are doing. Finally, we don't have to rely on two guys. This could be the year. I think Vegas are winners too. It's one of those things you got Leonard now. Like, that's the thing. You don't even have to worry. You don't even have to worry about Subban, right? You got Fleury and Leonard. Like, that's the best combination in the league.
That is the craziest move when you think of that move. And
it's a great move, though.
Here's the thing. Vegas is built to win now. So when you make that trade, you're like, did they just address the goalie of the future? So the 2-year window just became 5, but he's a rental. And he may sign and go back to Chicago. I think it's a great deal for Chicago. They get a backup goalie that's there. They're covered on that front next year, whatever goalie they go with. But the interesting thing for Vegas is now you're sitting there going, what are they telling you here? Now, I don't think in the NFL teams put enough stock into backup quarterbacks, because if your quarterback's out for a month, if you can get a guy, listen, Moore won games with Kansas City when Mahomes was out and they won the Super Bowl. You better have a backup that can get you through. Fleury in the back end of seasons has been getting hurt the last couple of years. Now, he's a money goaltender, but he has not had the greatest of seasons. And I mean, they already pulled the trigger on Gallant. And around here, everybody's like, what's going on? Well, DeBoer's got the defenseman jumping in the play. Fleury could run for mayor. But I think they're sitting there and telling you they're not afraid to say, after a couple games in a series, if he's not playing, now Leonard's going in.
Exactly. And that's why I like the move, because you got to make bold moves like that. Colorado, I think if you want to talk about teams disappointing, they didn't do anything. I think they needed to make a move to get over the top. The price for Kreider was probably too much, and he ends up signing a 7-year extension with the Rangers. Quietly, the Islanders needed scoring. I love Pajot. I think he's a very underrated player. I think the Islanders should have tried to get 2 more players. I know they already picked up Andy Green on the blue line, but I think that's a good move for them. One more guy would have really helped them out. And once again, the Leafs don't do anything, Brian. That's you can just put them in the loser category because they're a bunch of losers.
Now, okay, let's you let me. I was going to the other one there are 2 in the East. First of all, Tampa's all in. My God,
of course they are. Yeah.
Tampa is all in. Mm-hmm. All right, now Pittsburgh. Last year the Blues won it because of their 4th line. The Blues getting Marleau. And then they get Sheary and Rodriguez from Buffalo. Now, Rodriguez is a ham sandwich.
I agree.
All right. But if you're in that culture, all of a sudden they've addressed their bottom 6. I don't know. But at least Rutherford, don't sleep on those moves. But the team, at first I'm thinking, boy, they have all this talk and they really did nothing. Then I'm like, hey, idiot. No, they did a lot. The Bruins get Kasha.
So, I like that. I like Kasha a lot.
All right. Well, we'll see if this kid, offensively can light it up there. But I'm telling you, talk about a guy tailor-made to be a Boston Bruin. Nick Ritchie, he lives in the blue paint. I think that's a great get for the Bruins.
No, the Bruins, obviously Tampa Bay has separated themselves from everybody else. You said it. It's at the poker table. We're all in. Boston's already there. I think, Kassé is one of those guys, Brian, when he's with Anaheim, he's a good player too. I'm just, they're leaving teams like Toronto in the dust. I think Carolina, they needed some depth on the back end. They got it. It's just, what are you going to do though, right? You have to, as a team, you have to look at the teams ahead of you and go, okay, well, they're significantly better than us, right? And, you either stand pat or you don't do anything. But to me, Tampa Bay, it's if these guys bring their A game and don't worry about beating themselves up and getting tired, winning a President's Trophy, all the other stuff they've done in the past, just go out there and take care of business, and they should be able to get it done.
All right, and I gave a pet peeve rant in our golf podcast. Can I give
sure,
you a pet peeve rant?
It's your floor, buddy. Go rant away.
All right. So, obviously, the great story over the weekend was the Ayers Zamboni driver comes in and they beat the Leafs. That's a great story. Good for the guy, blah, 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 blah. But the real story is, and I apologize publicly to you right now, because when I hit send, Twitter's a dangerous thing. Be careful when you hit send. And I'm usually, and as soon as this went out, as the Mrazek got freight trained, I on Twitter, I should have texted you because I put you in a bad spot. I tweeted to Cam. I said, who is the luckiest team in all of sports? They're getting killed 3-1, the Leafs, and then this happens. And they score two goals on their first 2 shots on the guy. I'm going, they're going to win this game. They got no business winning. Well, then they roll over and puke on themselves.
Of course they do.
and Carolina plays like men possessed in front of the guy. But the spin is, what a great story for the Zamboni guy. And it was. But the other side of the equation is the Leafs, what a puke job. All right. So now let me continue the puke job into trade deadline day. And I'm watching the draft show, and the Sportsnet guys, they're on every day on the NHL Network, and it's not their fault. It's a simulcast, but every day on the NHL Network. I mean, first of all, NHL Network, you want to rant? How about do your own damn programming? It's
agree.
A national network.
I know.
How about some programming? Okay.
I agree with you.
Hey, how about betting's a thing now? How about a hockey show from Las Vegas every day? Okay, that's one thing. But these guys come on in the first half hour every morning. It's a Leafs pregame show.
Of course it is.
Okay.
I know.
So now on trade deadline day, now they come out. And now I had the same reaction. When I saw the Sabres got Wayne Simmons, I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, what? I'm thinking, what did he give up? Well, then the terms of the deal come back. They give him a nothing burger, whatever.
Yeah.
Fifth-round pick.
I like the guy.
And they retained half his salary.
Yep.
So he got a body on the improve because he was setting up for Sheary and Rodriguez. So Botterill actually makes a good trade, right? But these guys have this narrative on there. What are the Sabres doing? Blah, blah, blah. Why would they blah, blah? Like, and then they're interviewing Wayne Simmons. Well, do you want to play long-term in Buffalo? I'm like, what planet are you guys on? He's a rental who waived his no-trade clause, and he's thrilled to get out of Jersey. But the big picture is, and I'm not saying they're coming back, but the Sabres are now 6 points back with a game in hand on Toronto. So they're only 4 points back. And this guy, sight unseen, well, they're not making the playoffs and they're this and that. I'm like, I know it's your beloved Leafs. They are not the Central Red Army team. Toronto and Florida are driving off a cliff.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not saying the Sabres are going to sustain anything, but you're 6 points back with a game in hand.
Yes.
And they're talking about the Leafs, who just puked all over themselves on the weekend. They've got them penciled in like they're automatically in.
No, a lot of these guys, too, I don't know. Like, some of them are from Western Canada. A lot of them actually hate the Leafs. I don't know why they start liking these guys, but no, it makes Florida's horrible the way they've been playing. Like, you can't get points.
And then they give him Trocheck?
Yeah. Here's the thing, man.
And
These
they
guys,
give up Trocheck to a team. They're literally.
Buddy, I don't know what's going on there. Like, I thought Joel Quenneville, this whole organization, I told you, they're a train wreck. Like, yeah, Florida, the Panthers and the Leafs should just grab each other's hands and jump off the bridge. They're both brutal. Like, it's pathetic. But anyway, what are you going to do, man? Like, it's a situation. So you get rid of Michael Hutchison.
Colorado. What was that?
I don't think Colorado understands that Hutchison is not very good. But here's the thing about Toronto: they have talent on their team. They have no leadership. I don't even know where to go anymore. Here's the thing: the bottom line is this: when you have a kid who's a math geek, who's never probably played hockey in his life, as your general manager, it's very simple. Me and Gabe talked about this on our show. You become the analytics guy. You don't have to be the general manager. You have the nerds doing the analytics, and you bring hockey people in as the general manager, and we all do our thing. But, oh, no, today's society, the numbers say this, puck possession, Corsi, blah, blah, blah. Hey, here's a tip. Maybe watch the damn game and see what the hell is happening instead of relying on computers to build your team. That's why the Leafs have 7 of the same damn player. That's my rant.
There you go. Analytics does not tell you, what's in a guy's chest. Is he going to win?
Yeah. Can analytics say your heart, what your heart is, what you do? Do you back check? Do you do that extra play? Do you defend your buddy when he gets a face wash? That's the thing. They got a bunch of loose. I'll tell you, I got issues with John Tavares more than anybody. Like, some guy told me to slow down. It's like, no, I'm not going to slow down because John Tavares is getting paid X amount of money and he's playing like a dog. When you earn that kind of money, you should be the best guy in the team. You should be the leader. I'm not even going to say Matthews. Matthews at least is a sniper. Marner could be better. But I think the problem is you bring this guy in, and he's doing what? He wins a couple of face-offs? That doesn't matter.
Hey, numbers guys, let me just throw this out there because I laugh at these guys.
I do.
Numbers guys.
They think they're so smart, too.
Expected shut percentage and go blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Two of the most meaningless things in all sports. One is shots on goal.
Shots on goal. Doesn't even matter.
Shots on goal is a joke. In a box score, we put a man on the moon. Can you give us quality
I
scoring
agree.
chances.
I agree.
Okay. The other one is overrated, is plus minus. How many times
There's a guy going to the bench and they scored.
if a guy's playing 25 minutes a game, how many times over the course of the year is he stepping off the ice when a goal gets scored or stepping on the ice when a goal gets scored?
It's true. All the time. No, I'm with you.
Right.
Okay, that's it. No, enough is enough. Trade deadline's over. Let's get to the games. Let's go.
Let's get to the games. All right, and right out of the gate, this is why we love it. And, I'm not blindly doing this, but just for our friend that said the totals are no good, let's go. Calgary and Boston. Boston's laying $2. This was a game they just played. 4-3 was the final. Look at Calgary. 7-0-1 to the over in their last 8. How do you not play this game over 6?
I like it over, too. It's also a revenge spot. Calgary's going to be angry. They pissed that game away. I think they could score goals. I like Boston to score on them. The Flames goaltending situation, they're struggling right now. I like over 6. I like over 6 as well. Boston should be able to take care of business, but I don't like it. Give me the over 6.
Let's go Vancouver, flying cross country. The Habs are $1.40 here.
Is this insane?
Well, let me tell you something, kiddo. This is another one. The Canucks just beat the Bruins 9-3. I think that was a throwaway game, right? But for them, it was a statement game. That was one of our plays, by the way, going into the weekend.
I told people I like the Canucks in that spot. They got it.
I'm telling you, you want a black hole, Cam? That's twice now in the last bit. One was Vancouver sitting home waiting somebody was sitting home waiting for Vancouver, who played in Edmonton, and they killed them. And here's Vancouver with Boston playing the night before in Edmonton, takes these guys to the woodshed. 9-3 is the final. We found the black hole. Forget the Bermuda Triangle. The black hole is between Edmonton and Vancouver.
It is. And I had an argument with the guy I do my Saturday night show with, Scott Wetzel, great guy. He's like, how do you get in front of the Bruins? I go, it's pretty simple. It's a situation. Vancouver's winning this game. They not only won, they murdered them. I wish I would bet way more money on that game. I had a good read on it, and they took care of business. I don't know why Montreal is a minus 140 favorite there. I think it's ridiculous. To me, it's Vancouver or nothing. I wouldn't touch the total in this game at all. Preferably, I think it probably goes under. If Montreal's going to have any success in this game, they're going to have to play a low-scoring game. Vancouver popped in 9 their last game. It's hard to duplicate things like of that nature. So for me, it's Vancouver, but I'm not betting it right now.
We'll move on from this game, but I'll just say I'm with you. So we're in complete agreement here because another one of our really good angles this year was first game home from a long road trip, brutal for the home team. But we've also been talking a lot about when teams are starting a long road trip, how important it is to get the trip off to a good start. They're at Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, and Columbus. Big stretch for Vancouver. I'm in on the Canucks.
Yeah, I like the Canucks. I think I love the Tyler Toffoli move. If Brock Besser wasn't hurt, I think this team's very dangerous. It's actually weird. I'm starting to become a Vancouver Canucks fan. They were the Canadian team that people used to laugh at, like it's always them and the Senators, right? But I like what Vancouver's doing. They're building something there. They're doing a great job. Trevor Linden and the crew and all the other guys. Travis Green, man, like I'll tell you, these guys are good. Like everyone, you should be laughing at the Toronto Maple Leafs, not the Vancouver Canucks. They're actually building something there. I like them at plus 120, Brian.
All right, I'm not touching this game with a telephone pole, but I will tell you this. Philly laying 235 against San Jose. Total is 6. You get Marlowe traded out of there. Barkley, Goudreau's been traded out of there.
Philly's hot.
This season's a train wreck for San Jose. I just got this weird feeling, okay, post-trade deadline, guys getting a chance, blah, blah, blah. Embrace the role of spoiler. Philly's been on cruise control. They've been good to us in recent games. They're on a dead over streak. We were cashing tickets on their overs. We had them in those 2 games against Columbus. I got a feeling, maybe it's gas, but I've got a feeling San Jose scares me tonight, but I'm not going anywhere near it.
I don't have that feeling, and I do suffer from acid reflux and heartburn. I will not be taking the Sharks at plus 205. It sounds juicy and tasty, but it's not. Flyers should be able to win this game. It needs to be parlayed to plus money or take them on the puck line, but to me, I'm going to probably stay away from this game, but I think Philadelphia understands they need to take care of business. If San Jose gets it done, I think they get it done when they come back at home in front of their fans, but this organization is basically a train wreck right now, so pass.
All right. I've got it's a very short sample size, Cam, And I'll just tell our listeners, you go look it up. I'm not. Right?
Yep.
When the accountant from Chicago played and won the game for the Blackhawks, I don't know if the Blackhawks won the next game, but I'm telling you, it's a very short sample size. But is Carolina not sitting on a letdown to the moon after the Toronto game?
I agree. Yeah, and they got this guy going there tonight too, right? They've already made T-shirts, Ayers T-shirts. He's ringing the siren, like, hey, party time. Like, I don't know if Dallas shows up, they're going to win that game. It's a pick 'em. I lean to Dallas. I'll tell you one thing. I like Carolina as a team. I think they showed a lot of guts in that game, and that's a team you want to be on. I think it was a galvanizing win, but we do have letdown spots in life. I like the Dallas Stars in this situation. I wish we were getting something, and the books aren't stooges. That's why they made it a pick 'em, and Carolina not a favorite. They're scared of Dallas tonight.
I am absolutely on the sidelines here. We've only seen 2 or 3 times this year, a total of 7. You're getting it tonight. Toronto's at Tampa Bay.
Can't take the over, even though it should get there. You can't.
$1.90 on Tampa. The total 7. I'm not going anywhere near this because the one thing I would say. This could be run for the bus city, but as much as we're carving these guys, they're hockey players. And Toronto was embarrassed in Pittsburgh. They came back the next game.
And I was on them. Yes.
Okay. Toronto was mortified, and they are so lucky. Now, they're not lucky they're playing Tampa Bay.
No, they're not.
But they're so lucky that the next game is on the road.
I agree.
And I would think if you better get a good effort tonight from Toronto. I don't trust them. I'm not playing it. But anyway, hockey players, when they're embarrassed.
Listen, Brian.
If they don't, Kenny, it's Thelma and Louise.
I get it. It is Thelma and Louise. They're almost ready to drive it off the cliff. But let's take a look here. Toronto, also horrible game, big effort. I mocked them, and I'm allowed to mock them because they haven't done anything for me in my life other than cause me misery and lost finances. Tampa, they go into Vegas, they get smoked that game. Ooh, comeback against Arizona. Sorry, friends, you lose there too. Now you come back home from a west road trip, right, to east. I don't know. There's factors both sides in this game. If Tampa Bay would have won that game in Arizona, I would smash the Leafs tonight. But now the fact that they've lost 2 games makes it very difficult. Do you take Tampa Bay at minus 190? This guy doesn't. No way. It's the Leafs or nothing. And I hate to say it, how bad they are. They're plus 170. That's an insane price. And you know, they can play. They can play if they want to. Sometimes they don't because they think they're better than they are. But if they show up tonight with any type of pride and you got a Tampa Bay ticket, you're going to be sweating it out. This is going to be a very, very close game. I expect a 5-4 type of game. If it dips down to 6.5, I will take the over at 7. I'm going to pump the brakes. But for me, I actually I think Toronto might be the play. I'm hesitant to bet it because of what happened and what they've done to me.
All right. We were talking about working on our budget to get the parlay song as a bumper coming in. How much would it cost us to get Jim Nantz to come on and go, sorry, friends.
Sorry. You could put him in the car with Thelma and Louise if you want. The guy lives on a golf course.
Lives on Pebble Beach, for Christ.
I know. That must be nice. Hey, Peyton Manning, you want a cup of coffee? Yeah, just come play my par 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's wow. Every time I see that commercial, I feel great about my life. Good, this guy's living on a golf course.
Yeah, Jim Nantz's wife. Yeah. Hey, honey, go out and cut the grass. I would, dear, but there's a seal out there.
So right, man. Hey, buddy, what? Islanders Rangers. What about this? What about this one? Actually, an interesting card. Tuesday.
It's a great game. Listen, $1.35, 6 to the under. Islanders better get their act together. Now we'll see. If the Pajot thing.
I like it.
Sparks these guys a little bit. I'm a believer in Trotz. I told you I got. By the way, I bet them. Isn't it amazing the difference? And this is what we said. A difference 2 weeks can make where. You're flying high and you go up the ladder, or a bad 2 weeks and you're out of the playoffs. And I'm telling you, I bet the Islanders, I might click back in. 2 weeks ago, I bet the Islanders at 25-1. And now they've had a cold snap. They're no guarantee to get in. They're 40-1 now. I mean, all I care about is if they get in, I think the Islanders are dangerous with Brats in a series. I may go click again on the Islanders. Now, as for this game, I wouldn't go anywhere near it. And I'll tell you what, the Rangers,
I like the Rangers a bit.
They could be a salty bunch here, making the commitment to Kreider.
Here's the thing. We give lessons on the show. We've talked about this one. Rangers at home as a favorite, not the best look. Rangers on the road as a dog, a very good look. They're plus 115 tonight. I like the Islanders, and they are playing a bit better their last couple games, but don't sleep on the Rangers. It hasn't made the card yet, but I like the Rangers at plus 115. I think they're sneaky, and even with Shesterkin out, right, they still got Georgiev and Lundqvist, so they got the goals.
I think they were going to move, Lundqvist maybe to Colorado before the car accident.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Now, by the way, mark this down. All these years, Cam, 15 years, you and I, Buffalo and the Leafs, over in Buffalo, under in Toronto.
Yeah.
I think we got the same thing brewing here. Didn't we hit this earlier in the year? Aren't the games over at Madison Square Garden and under on the island?
It feels that way, yeah. It's you know what? I would definitely not be taking the over in this game. Think about the Islanders' last games, too. 4-1 over San Jose. Remember, 2 empty netters. The other game, too, against Detroit. They won empty netters. That's the thing. And they're still hovering around the number. I like the under 6 in this game, too. I definitely would not take the over. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think it's kind of a grinding 3-2 type of game tops.
Washington's laying 2 potatoes against Winnipeg, total 6.5 to the over. I watched the Winnipeg-Buffalo game. Winnipeg, yeesh. It was a weird late afternoon game. They had both played the afternoon before. But what I saw, man, there's a lot of talent up front from Winnipeg, but I kind of lean under here, Cam. I don't love the game, but I would lean under.
I lean under, too. Also, I think the Capitals, now that Ovi's got his 700th goal, they can get that monkey off their back. I will not be taking Winnipeg in the spot. I will not be taking Washington. It's minus 220. So, yes, it's under or nothing. I'm going to pass on this game, but there's a couple other games that I do like at the end of the card.
All right. This one, boy, talk about I was going to have such a great weekend if Bryson DeChambeau won the stupid golf tournament. Thankfully, I had a great weekend in hockey, and the one that put it over the top, and talk about a bleeding ulcer, was I had Calgary on the puck line against Detroit. They're up 2. Detroit pulls the goalie.
Oh, yeah, they
like 3.5 to go, and they literally had it in the zone for 2 minutes. Cycling around, and Detroit scored. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And Calgary got the empty netter with 20 seconds to go. You know, if it's Bernier, he's been playing really good. I don't know what's cooking here. Jersey laying a quarter on the road, 5.5 to the under. I still think Jersey's the better team.
I agree. I don't know how Jersey's going to play coming out with all the things, all the guys they've had moved on the team. Do they man up and say, it's us versus the world with these other guys? I can't trust Detroit. They lose parts too. For me, it's Devils or nothing. It's probably going to be nothing. Sometimes I get involved in these stinker games. I don't really feel it tonight.
All right, Ottawa and Nashville. Nashville's 336.5 to the under. Ottawa played their hearts out.
They sure did.
In Columbus. Should have won the game, I thought.
They should have. I agree with you.
Lose in overtime.
Nashville's going to murder them tonight, though, right?
But here's the thing. Back-to-back nights, the Holberg kid played. You're probably coming back with Anderson.
With Anderson?
I mean, the number's way too big, but that's a big ask for Ottawa.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it is a big ask for Ottawa. Plus 280, it looks juicy, but not juicy enough. Nashville should win this game. Even minus 360, you'd have to add another team to the parlay to make it worth your while. It's Nashville puck line, minus 1.5 or nothing for me, Brian. Ottawa left it all. They're out of gas. They played a great game against Columbus. I don't think there's anything left in the tank. I would expect kind of like a 5-2 Nashville win tonight, but who knows? Ottawa, they can dig deep again. You got to give these guys a lot of credit. They don't quit, but Nashville understands they need to take care of business tonight. I just don't like the minus 360 price, but Predators will win.
All right, St. Louis, $2, 210 over Chicago. The total is 6. The only thing I would say is monster rivalry game that I think Chicago shows up. But boy, hard to trust them. But I mean,
what about the over? It's tough now because St. Louis is it was great for us the first 3 games. Now they're paying attention to defense, right? But
Chicago, but we know it's Crawford.
Exactly. But you know what? Screw it. Pass. Here's the
one I like.
I both like.
I like this game. Columbus and Minnesota over 5.5. Minnesota's
agree.
laying $1.80.
I like Minnesota too. Columbus might have won last night. Minnesota's been real gritty. Maybe they're finding it under Dean Evison. I don't like the 175, but I'm going to parlay it. I don't think Columbus can hang with Minnesota. I think Minnesota's going to take care of business in this game, and I think Columbus will be a popular play because of the plus 155. I will not be taking part of it. I like the over as well.
The 2 previous games, Minnesota lost to the Blues 4-1. They're playing the Blues. All right. Prior to that, 5-3 win at Edmonton, 4-3 win at Vancouver. Minnesota is a sneaky over team. Parise was going to go, and then he didn't. Watch Parise go nuts in this spot. But I will tell you, bud, the one thing I'll tell you about this game is last night they were talking about the emergency goalie was getting dressed because Elvis got freight trained. So Korpisalo came in. It was the first time he'd played since Moses wore short pants. So it's going to be Korpisalo tonight, back-to-back nights. And Columbus, they're desperate. I don't know. Isn't this like a 5-3, 5-4 kind of game?
I think it is. I think Minnesota wins a 5-3 type of game. I don't believe in Korpisalo to play, decent hockey. I think the Wild can get to him. The Wild are not done either. This is a team that believes. Hey man, they went into Vancouver and beat these guys. Like, don't sleep on this team. I thought they were going to fold like a cheap soup, but they haven't. I like the Wild. I like the over. I agree with you. I think we get 8-9 goals in this game. Columbus, they've been a little bit loose defensively, but they can score, and Minnesota will definitely score. So I do like the over 5.5.
Florida, Arizona. I think Florida's finally wrapping up their road trip. Arizona's minus a quarter, the total 6. He's not back yet, but Kemper is back on the ice. And Arizona is actually very quietly still the number 2 wild card. So they're still there. If they get Kemper back, watch out for Arizona maybe to get going on a heater here. But how do you play anything other than over games when you're talking about the Florida Panthers?
I'm going to tell you something. This might be one of my top plays. It's not going to be the top play, but it's a play I love. I love the Panthers tonight. I think they understand exactly what's going on with the Leaf situation. They got to keep pace. Tough loss against the Kings and Vegas. They were hanging with Vegas for a while till the end. This is the spot. Give me the Florida Panthers plus 115 over 6.
Oh, buddy. A lot of this stuff is about information, right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I'm just telling you, Arizona. Arizona is. People are going to jump on Arizona tonight. Be very careful. Florida's the play, man.
No, you're missing it. It's all about the dad's trip, right? You find out. The hard part's finding out, right?
What? The dads are in Arizona?
No, I'm just saying the between the line stuff that matters and makes a difference. Sometimes the hard part is finding out. There's a piece of information I don't think you have.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Auntie Ranta had a baby yesterday.
So? Who cares?
Oh, come on. A guy has a baby, he scores a goal, or the goalie gets a shutout.
No,
guy gets traded. Yes, that. Oh, my God. Come on. Guy has a baby. Guy gets traded.
So a guy has a baby, and you're guaranteeing me Arizona's going to beat Florida tonight because he had a kid?
Yes.
Don't you think he's worried about his kid rather than the hockey game?
No, he's thrilled. He doesn't have to change the diaper.
He doesn't have to change the diaper. He didn't have to change the diaper before because he didn't have a kid.
Oh, God.
Give me the Panthers.
That's an old one, buddy. That's an old one. The guy has a baby. I mean, a forward has a baby. The guy goes and gets a hat trick. So why wouldn't the goalie
So why wouldn't a goaltender let in 6 goals when he has a goalie then?
No, the goalie plays great.
Okay, well, we'll see about this, Brian. When
I
we do our
tried
next
to warn
show,
you.
just, you know what? Put this one in the archives, and then I'll apologize
that one's in the
with your 5 favorite words. Brian Blessing was right again. I will say it, but if not, I want something from you, buddy. And I'll tell you something. I don't care if Auntie Ranta had triplets. Give me the Panthers.
A baby angle.
A baby angle. The guy's probably had a baby. He's probably the hockey's the last thing on his mind. He's probably thinking about his family, for God's sakes. I just had a child. What, I'm gonna say 45 shots because I had a kid?
Oh,
I don't know, man. His wife's probably in labor. She's stressed out. I don't think that's an angle at all. I think it helps Florida.
Oh, I can't believe it.
But then again, you're a guy that has children. I have none, so you know better than me.
Nothing. No, it's been the forever thing. How many times did you see a guy get a couple of goals and they go, well, what a way to celebrate his birthday?
Yeah, I understand that. What's that got to do with a goalie? It's different than a forward.
Why? If the forward's going to get a hat trick because his wife had a baby and it's this big tumultuous personal family thing, why wouldn't the goalie have the game of his life? All right, we'll see.
I think the goalie's going to be on a banana peel thinking, wah, 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 I got a kid in the house. Give me the Panthers.
We don't disagree often. That's hilarious. All right, Edmonton and Anaheim. Edmonton laying $1.50 on the road. Total is 6. Now, the kind of crazy travel here, I don't know for a fact, but I would assume Athanasiou and Ennis and those guys would get there. Anaheim plays hard, but I don't know, man. I mean, I watched Anaheim the other night. It's probably over for me, to be honest with you.
I like Edmonton. It's only 55 cents. You could take them in reg. I know Anaheim plays hard, and that's what they did with Malcolm Subban. And you don't think Edmonton's all fired up now? They took care of business against LA. They should be able to take care of business against the Ducks. This is a hockey team that really believes now. This is not your old Edmonton Oilers. They're not folding. They're not having nights off. They look real good, Brian. I think it's actually a respectable price. I think Edmonton could go into Anaheim and win this game by 2 goals. So give me the Oilers, and I'm with you. It sounds like you're screw the baby and the cigars. It sounds like you want a trip to the butcher again. You like a lot of over, so you'll be handing out sticks of salami instead of cigars, I guess, tonight because you like the over there. I like Edmonton.
No, you know what? Forget you go do your Panther sound.
That's my Panther.
All right. So here's the deal. I saw this.
So Auntie Ranta's not having a child?
No. We went through that whole thing. Ranta, the baby. Now here. I'm gonna real quick. Hold on here.
You brought it up.
I know I brought it. What I saw was that it was a story about Ranta holding the baby. He got her
holding the baby.
He got her mini goalie pads. So now here's where I'm wrong, but you know where I'm right? The baby was born February 2nd. Okay?
Brian, that was 3 weeks ago.
That's what I just say. I was wrong. I saw this yesterday. The guy holding a baby. I thought he had the baby.
Yes, so 3 weeks ago. Oh, yeah, you got
No. Listen to me, jackass. Right? He had the baby February 2nd.
Yes.
On February 4th, he shut out the Oilers 3-0. The guy had a baby.
Okay, so he shut out the Oilers February 4th. Today's February what, 25th?
So the baby angle works is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so the next time a goaltender is a baby, I got to bet on his team. Okay, sounds good, Brian. Give me the Panthers. Are we done this conversation?
No, Panthers, I agree with you now. But the baby angle, he shut them out.
Okay, you're right about the baby angle. He had to shut
I was wrong about when he had the baby.
Okay. I get it. Okay.
What did we leave out?
We didn't leave anything out. Oilers in the over. Parlay.
I got 2 totals. I like Calgary, Boston over. I like Columbus, Minnesota over. And I gotta ride I gotta go with Vancouver.
I like what about the Vancouver under too? For me, I like the over in that game. I like what do I like? Florida is my dog, as we've talked about many, many times. Nashville on the puck line, and I like Edmonton against the Ducks.
All right. This is fun, isn't it?
I don't know if it's fun or not. That was crazy.
I enjoyed it.
No, of course it's enjoyable. Very enjoyable. Really? So who's having a baby tomorrow? And we'll take them. Find out, Brian. Go to the registry and tell me what player's having a child.
I said it's all about information. We had some bad. We had some good.
Correct.
It's the Hockey Betting Podcast. We love doing this. There you go. That was a gauntlet, kid. A little trade deadline and a salty Tuesday menu for you.
Wow.
Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. Hey, we hope you like what you're hearing. And if you do, hit the subscribe button and give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At BetChrisCanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.